In this video, we're going to discuss how to find values of sine and cosine in radians. As before attempting this, make sure you know the unit circle definition of sine and cosine. Sine is y, cosine is x. And you can do the complete unit circle in radians and degrees. And you can find coterminal angles in radians. So all this stuff we've talked about before in this unit, all right, you can do all of these, and now we're just putting it all together. All right, so again, really important, remember, cosine is x, sine is y for all of our angles. All right, so how do I find sine of 4 pi over 3? All right, again, you just showed that you know how to do the unit circle completely. So in this one, we're just focusing on that kind of definition of sine and cosine and applying it correctly. We find the angle 3 pi over 4. Sine is the y value. So my final answer is the square root of 2 over 2. Right, that's simple when you already have the unit circle there to look at. Right, that's actually the hard part, is coming up with the whole unit circle. Cosine of 4 pi over 3. Find the angle of 4 pi over 3. Cosine is the x value. Our answer is negative 1/2. Sine of 17 pi over 6. You find 17 pi over 6 and you realize, oh no, it's not on here. But remember, we have coterminal angles. Sometimes we have bigger or smaller angles that aren't on the unit circle. So we have to take 17 pi over 6. All right, that's a big angle, so I'm going to subtract 2 pi. We remember to get a common denominator. And this is 5 pi over 6. So the 17 pi over 6 and the 5 pi over 6 angle are the same, which means they have the same y value, which means they have the same sine of 1/2. So my final answer is 1/2. All right, so just know if there's an angle I give you that's not on the unit circle, you just have to use coterminal angles. All right, this one, cosine of negative 17 pi over 6. There's no negatives on here. Angle-wise, there's negative values. There's no negatives, so I know I have to use coterminal angles. I have to take negative 17 pi over 3 and add 2 pi, which comes to 6 pi over 3, which is negative 11 pi over 3. Still negative, so let's do it again. Gives me negative 5 pi over 3. Still negative, so we have to do it again. And after all that work, I figure out negative 17 pi over 3 is the same as just pi over 3. I'm doing cosine, so I take the x value. My final answer is 1/2. So you might have to do a little bit of work with coterminal angles, but finding the x and y value, once you locate an angle that's on your unit circle, just remember cosine is x, sine is y. And here's one for you to try on your own. Right, sine of 9 pi over 4. All right, so take a second, try this on your own. I'll show you the answer in 3, 2, 1. All right, 9 pi over 4 is the same as pi over 4. We take the y value, we get the square root of 2 over 2. All right, so here's your summary. All right, you can use the unit circle. You just showed you can fill out the unit circle, so now you can use that for this skill check. All right, but just know you won't be able to use the pre-made unit circle for the test. Part of the test is figuring out the unit circle again. So for this skill check, to get it through quickly, you can use your unit circle, but you have to redo it for the test. And just remember, if the value, the angle I give you is not on the unit circle, chances are you have to use coterminal angles.